Alright guys, so everybody's all buying into a knot or tied to a knot here because they want update. I do have update. I finally got update today from the lab on a test. They sent me three video on the test, how the drum spin, how quiet it is, what's the parameter, stuff like this. I'm going to put all that in this video here, but I'm just wanting to show you we reach slowly all what we want to do with those hyperdrive. And I'm talking about hyperdrive. You have to understand, this is a Yamaha 2700 watt generator, sine wave generator. No, the stator has never been modified. It's a 24 legs. I connected just the way it is. 24 legs, only 21 leg connected to it, just because it's a three-phase generator. And they're using three legs, one for the RPM, and the other one for the compensation of the volt going up and down. And that's it. Nothing. Bought that from, we machined the part to hook it up to the 10K, and we bolted on there. So what I'm going to show you is I'm going to start back with the 6 inches. We're going to move to the 7 inches and show you I can turn the 7 inches 8,000 RPM, no problem. I can't turn it because then I'm going to blow my capacitor inside my generator. But I can bring it up to 36, 38 to 4,000, no problem. So you will be able to see that. You'll be able to see the sound different because that one is out of tune. The controller is not quite where it's supposed to be because that's the last company, and we gave up that company. They could not do the controller properly. So, but here's the big thing. And I also received my new UPS. I blew my other one, so I got the new one for testing when I get a controller. But I'm going to give you a little run here, just to update you. What's the difference between proper tuning, exact same motor, just 21 leg, 24 legs, and you will see. And that one only running at 18 legs, because 18 legs because 21 legs and 3 legs are not used for. Now I'm only pushing up 177 volt, so far 0 amp, right? So I'm going to turn the first one and let you see how it works. And you'll be able to see the numbers here, no problem. And I will take the camera and I'm going to bring it up so you guys can hear it. But here we go. So this is very close to be the right controller for that, because see how nice and quiet it's spinning, and it starts really easy. See, I can stop it and it will start, no problem. Okay, now see how smooth and how quiet it is, right? And right now I'm turning 36, 45. So this little guy right now, he could turn a small generator at 3600 RPM. I'm turning it, it's turning the alternator, but it's no load on, but I'm still turning the alternator and the brush and all that, right? And I'm only using 0.597, that's 0.597 of an amp, like 0.6 of an amp. And off the wall, oh shoot. And that's what is taking from the wall. 1.29 from the wall right now. Okay? And that's when everything almost perfect. Very little draws, even if you had a draw on it, that thing wouldn't go no more than about 1.5 amp and probably about 2.5 amp from the wall. And I would be able to turn probably that little thing there, 2.5 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, no problem. I might even try it on my 4 kilowatt I got set up over there. But this I'm just doing to you to see what are we working on and what is our goal. Our goal is RPM, torque, currents, volts. We have 4 things to play with, and then we have to calculate the amount of magnet and on the amount of legs, and then synchronize every one of them for every RPM to be at the right place. So it's not that simple after it's done, very simple after that, but to do it is a different story. So anyway, I'm going to turn this one off, and I'm going to connect this one here. So we know that one. You guys saw that thing is spinning at 11,000 RPM, so we do it. I don't have to go there. So disconnect that. I put cloth so that thing doesn't vibrate off the table. That's the reason I put cloth. Okay, and look at the size of the wire, same thing, very little wire. Now, because it's a bigger drum, and we're talking about 4 times the size of this thing, even if it's only 1 inch, it's 4 times the size. And see, you kind of budge a little bit. I'm going to stop it here, and I want you to listen to the start of it. See, it's skipping a little bit. Okay, I'm not turning fast because I don't have the volt. I'm going to crank up the volt, but I'm going to tell you what I'm spinning right now. See, 1800 RPM, right? 1830, and here how quiet that is, right? But it won't stay like this. It will get really noisy. Now I'm going to crank up the volt there. Oh, and by the way, at 1800 RPM. It's only taking, hang on, I'm going to put that on hold. So you guys can believe it. Right now it's turning that at 1.05 of an amp, okay? Now I'm going to put a load, I'm going to bring it up to, the RPM, so it's a 500 watt load, just to let you know the generator. I can bring the generator up to spec, right? So I'm going to bring it up to the RPM. And you will see I have to climb up the volt. Okay, we're 1832. I'm 2200. I'm 2300, I'm 4000, 2500, now I got power coming up. $3,000. RPM. There you go. So, but you can hear now, it's noisy. It doesn't have much torque. It's got a lot of torque at 2200, but not at 36, because see now it's being noisy. The timing, the frequency is not right for the amount of magnet and the stator that one here. And those controllers we gave up on that company. They make us lost almost 7 months. So they cannot do it. That company says those motors are useless. They're all RPM but no torque because they don't understand it. Now we have 2 companies who really understand it and they're building it. And that's why we're working. It took a little time. But I'll show you. I'll just pull the camera out here. The light bulbs are all clear bulb, 300 watts and 200 watts. That's full blast, right? And look at my gauge. 240 volts, 125 volts. I'm going to try this to give you a better. There you go. Now we got the volt.
So the generator is actually working very well. Generator itself, I got the bearing, is very quiet. Now if we can bring down the noise of that stator, then we'll be right. But apparently with the big drums, barely no noise, just like the little drums. So, and look, that's the input in the motor, 3.7 amp, right? But because of this here, the power supply is a pig. I'm going back to this power supply here, which I'm getting another one on Monday, which runs on nothing compared to those pig there, and lots of power supply. 1 power supply, 2 power supply, 3 power supply, 4. That's the power supply got damaged when it got sent to me. That's another power supply, is the pig, old technology. That UPS is fried. That is my new UPS. I didn't connect it till I got the power my proper power supply and my proper controller. Now everybody see those controllers. Everybody's looking at the controller. Who made this controller? It's a custom controller. You can buy those boxes, put 10 bucks, empty box, and put electronic in it. So, you know, don't even try to look for it, but if you do, good luck, because those companies are useless when you come to the big run. So, this is pretty much my my update. This is pretty much my update of pretty much everything. I'll put that back on a frame here. So this is my update. Like I said, in this video we will put the video from the factory, from the test. So you guys want some number. Well, this is a lab. The unit is in the lab and they're doing tests right now, and they show you they're doing more tests because you have to understand. I asked them to build something to run 24/7. Now I know it's hard for people to understand the difference between 24/7 and I can throw it away tomorrow, because that's what we're living in, a world of disposal. It doesn't work anymore, you go and buy another one, right? That's why you cannot afford to live anymore. So nothing lasts more than a month or two and it goes in the garbage. So everything, same thing with the power supply, same thing with the UPS, same thing with the controller. Everything have to be able to run 24/7 for the next 15, 20, 30 years, right? Or should be. And that's what we are working to it. But people freaking out. The winter is coming. I had nothing to do with the winter. It comes here every year. I have to suffer through the winter like everybody else, right? And working in long distance between here, Israel and China, we're doing it the best we can on speed-wise. You know, like nothing is done overnight, and especially when we were working with company and they literally lied to us that they could do that, but they could not, and they didn't have the ball to tell us after a while, hey, you know what, I think we bought bigger than we can chew, right? So it's very simple. People doesn't know, just tell them straightforward, doesn't know. But this is what we're working with. So for people, and Mr. Bob Bateman says, we can spin those generator with that fast enough to make electricity. Well, you see it, 3600 volt, full volt in the back, but I can only put so much load on it because I have very low torque at 3600 because the controller is not timed properly for this size motor. And that's about the only thing. Same thing now. I'm just playing with that one here because I have time waiting and stuff like this. See how big of a controller I can, with that controller, how big of a drum I can spin and stuff like this, and it seemed to be, we can spin those drums, we have no problem to find out all the parameter, because that's what those guys are working at. They find out all the parameter of the stators and the drum, because they have parameters, they have timing, and they're working by block of parameters, so they will be able to build us, let's say you need a special type of motor with a certain type of RPM with torque, we can readjust the parameter for that, and then it will be running super efficiently, like 2-3 amps at the most, right? So you're talking about when you do the conversion between 2-3 amp, you're probably looking around about the full amount of amp and AC you have to put in to run it on the power supply. It will be more likely around about 4, 5, 6 amp. But you're talking about stuff 4, 5, 6 amp of draw of 120 to create over 100 horsepower. I think it's pretty fucking good. As a matter of fact, I think it's pretty fucking good, because you know what? For the amount of amp I'm putting in there, is nobody in this fucking planet can get close to me for the amount of horsepower and the torque I'm putting out. So for all the engineer out there, the know-it-all and stuff like this, feel up your boots, man. You're gonna have to fucking do better than that if you want to fucking, you know, kick me out of this fucking game, right? Because you're not there yet. You're so far away from being there, it's not even funny. You're so far behind, you think you're first, right? Well, this is how we do the work: testing, 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 testing. No piece of paper, no pad, no blackboard, nothing. You build a fucking thing and you test it. You build a fucking thing and you test it. You spend the money and you test it. That's how you find real research. In the end of the day, in your fucking computer, you know what you got? Nothing. By a bunch of fucking scribbling on your computer, and it doesn't make sense to anybody. When you put it into, you connect the power to it, that's how you see how things going. Beside that, if you try to do calculation and renovation and whatever, and you don't have anything put together, you're just another stupid fucking engineer who doesn't have a fucking clue, just like the fucking Ford engineer, or the engineer of 350 Ford diesel, not diesel, V10, and you have to pull the fucking cab 3 inches off the fucking mount to change a rear 2 spark plug. Those are the type of fucking engineer, you know, they should be fucking thrown off a tall building, very, very tall building. But anyway, that's how it's done, that's how I'm doing it. And if people don't like it, tough fucking luck, that's how I'm doing it. So it might take a little longer, but when you're going to be plugging something, just like Trump says, my button work. How's your button? How is it working out for you today, Mr. Bateman? You know? So and all the other people, you know, they calling me fraud and stuff like this. How much money I took from you? The biggest amount who start singing about fraud, most likely they are a fraud. I'm not asking for people. People want to send me money to help out on the research and paying the parts and machining and stuff like that. Hey, this is one thing, but I'm not asking for money from people. So, and I'm not selling something I don't fucking have. And I won't not even, I've been asking to put that up in my website so they can start ordering. It won't be one fucking order from the civilian world will go through my website unless I test this fucking shit myself. So I just want to let you know, all the people out there, relax, take a few Valium, smoke a couple of joints, and let me do my job. That's all I'm asking. Let me do my job. After I'm done, you can do what the fuck you want with it. Okay? You can do whatever you want. You can run in the bush and have power. You can use it to destroy the world. I don't give a shit. But let me do my job. And then after that, you guys can go ahead and go crazy with it, because that's all it's going to be. It's going to be a gong show. Right? So, but anyway, you guys want an update? Here's the update. And of course, with an update, you get a little bit of peace of my mind. So that's normal. And hopefully, my favorite power supply, Normally, it's supposed to be in my hand by Monday, and then the factory on Friday. They're doing their last test on Friday, and then packaging my controller, my test controller, and ship it up. So that'll take 5 days. So it's gonna be by the end of the month, last week of the month again, before I test anything. But I'm ready, right? So now I'm just gonna have to pull my 7-inch out of there, pull everything out, and put my 12-inch in there, and then plug the controller, and let's see if we can loop it. Because the other one I see on the load is only taking 2 amp. I have right up 2 amp. I should have no problem to pull that out. You know, 2 amp with my controller, that means 4.5 amp out of the wall. I'm making 80 some amp here. So I should be able to take 4 or 5 amp out of that 80 some amp and feed myself no problem. So, and that's what we're going after. So, oh, before I blew my, just when I was thinking, because I was working, I had everything connected, you know, and I was just looping the system with no load on it. And I didn't know at that point in time I was not getting torque on 3600. I knew I had getting a lot of torque on low all the way up to 2100, and I said, holy shit, that's a lot of damn torque. I can't stall this thing. I can't even slow it down. So that's why I didn't bother about testing any higher, because I couldn't slow it down at 2200 RPM. So not knowing that the RPM would go up but the torque would go down, I had everything, but I had no load on it, no light. I was just running with the battery, and everything was going good, was going that, right? And I was using the other power supply, which is a pig. That thing draws like 35 amp of the wall, that out of the top one over there. And I put it on there, and he got off. You know, when you have power going into the UPS, right? The power comes back. You hear click, and the UPS goes from wall, right, to battery. So he went from battery to wall. I said, holy shit, I'm loop, right? So I just see if I disconnect the battery, if it was still running. And it was running, and I'm thinking, wow, that's happening, it's running. But there's no load on it, right? 3600 RPM and there's no load, but I'm running. And I said, holy mackerel. 2, I hit the other 500 watt. I went over and my torque, and the motor went up and down. My drive went up and down. The voltage went up and down, and I did damage into my UPS and my UPS over there. She still worked, but you can't put a load more than 700 watt, or she won't work. She go default. So something is screwed up in one of the board there. So that's a new one. That's what I'm not connected to. I got all my proper controller and stuff like this. But for 8 to 10 minutes, I would say, because I was not looking, and that thing was running by itself. And I was thinking about it. I said, I should go get the camera and put that on there, right? And I said, I put some light, and soon I threw those 500 watts light on. I over demand for the torque. And then my RPM went up and down, and everything went sideways. And they have an alarm, it's like a siren. Those things went off, and I shut everything down. Everything went to default. But for a small period of time, it was doing it. And but like a lot of people go, well, we can't see that. That's fine. Don't believe me. I don't really care, right? I don't really care if you don't believe me or not. So, I mean, if you don't believe me, just don't watch it. Just don't go on my channel, right? I don't watch stuff I don't like on YouTube. I don't. Why should I go there and put comment on something I don't like? If you don't like, you got the freedom to move to the next one, right? But it was working, so that's why I'm kind of a little cocky right now, because I know we have the RPM, I know we have the torque, I know we have the volt, I know we have the draws is down to almost nothing compared to, I mean, you have to understand, you're turning just, let's say you're turning a 1-horse motor by itself, right? And I want people to do that. If you have a 1-horse motor, plug it up and put an amp meter. It takes 10 amps just to run by itself. It doesn't have a pulley on the shaft yet. That's just a 1-horse motor. I'm turning a fucking 10 kV. The numbers are there. They don't lie. But it doesn't matter. You can have all the numbers. Look what's going with Trump. He can solve the plagues and the poor of around the world, and it's still going to be, hey, we got to impeach it. The guy's an asshole, right? It's always going to be those people. And that's too bad, because it makes the world a shitty place to live when you're surrounded by those people. But we don't want to have war, civil war, and only civil war clean all that garbage of people. That's what I've been saying for a long time. I say we need another 5 to 10 years of civil war in this continent to clean up the garbage, because the garbage dump is full. So what are you going to do? You got to clean it up, right? But that's just my opinion. And probably the opinion of probably about 50 to 60 million people, maybe more. So anyway, this is my update. So hopefully you like it. If you don't like it, doesn't make no difference to me. And I'm probably going to put another one differently when I'm receiving the controller, and I got a time to do a quick test into it. I'll keep it up so you guys see how far we go, you know, where we at and stuff like this. I know sometime I'll give you another video when I get something, but if I don't have anything to say, I mean, I can sit in the front camera and just bitch about stuff, but it doesn't make any difference. You're not getting anything about this here, right? So when I get something good to show, like this, I want to show you that, because we have good numbers, and we can, now we have a 6, a 7, you see the RPM, we're not having no problem reaching RPM, you know, especially this guy here. This one there is probably got about 8,000, 8,500 RPM, you know, I can run with this controller, but only for a short period of time. This controller, the timing is not right, and he overheat. At 35 minutes of run, you almost cannot, you can't touch it, it will burn your hand. So that's why I just use it for doing a little bit of test. So, but hopefully, cross my finger, what the other control will be. I can't wait for it, because it's very it's a bigger controller than that, because we're building stuff for running 24/7. So it's got to be a little bit more overbuilt.
but it's still small and it's still fitting into the system. So you know, the way I see it, I can almost bolt my controller inside my UPS, because my battery, you know, in the UPS, the amount of space I need for the space, I have enough space to put that including in UPS, the controller. So we'll see what happens. See what we can shrink after we get everything working properly. Then we can start shrinking the stuff around and make it nicer and stuff like that. But I'm not going to make something nice before it works, kind of defeating the purpose and spending the money. But that's what we're doing, and when we finish, and everything might be power supply, UPS, and controller, they might be all integrated all at once. But we'll see where that goes. It doesn't matter how we build it. We always have somebody who's not happy about how we build it, so it doesn't really matter, right? So anyway, we'll talk to you when we get more information, and hopefully it's in the next 2-3 weeks. All right, guys, so patience, and take a Valium.